Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to Tarot Tuesday combined with Miðvikudags Manatee. Hello stranger, if you've never been here, it's great to have you here. My name is Frida Martins. I am a German-born artist in Iceland with multiple disabilities, and I have like 6 or 7 different categories on my YouTube channel, and I have to actually film them whenever I am in reasonable health. I am basically beginning to learn to read tarot, but some friends of mine tell me I have a good instinct for this, and actually flow drawing has become one of my methods of oracling. And of course, please take those things as they resound and don't take them all too literal. I have autism. I take some things very literal, but especially with the tarot, I got used to not taking them literal. And like with everything that's happening in the world, my theme today is how can we stay calm? What can we do for ourselves to stay calm? And we have the Crystal Visions Tarot and something that I just added to my collection very recently, the Archangel Animal Oracle, which was actually particularly nice because the box was pretty solid and there was no plastic around the cards, just a paper belt. I hate these plastic packagings, like both for the noise and for the environmental impact. Okay, this came out in reverse. 5 of Swords. The swords are always the difficult things. Like also when I designed my own tarot deck, that was the most difficult to design because many of the swords have sad messages. Okay, this is actually like in reverse. Like, what did I learn about the 5 of Swords while I was designing my own deck? My 5 of Swords had something with freedom and, of course, like with birds. So, yeah. These are ravens. They are intelligent. Like, this clever raven sits on something that stabbed this person's back. And there is like an angel with black wings carrying the rest of the swords. So, yeah, there may be a lot of people around us who say one thing the one day and the next thing the next day, and they will never be as they seem. This guy has, like, I don't know, it looks like snowshoes with spikes to be able to walk in the snow, but the woman is not dressed for the snow at all. And now I'm kind of getting the story into my head. Maybe she is a selkie, like a, let's say, hybrid between a seal and a person. Like, because as a teenager in the 90s, I read like too many articles about like the exploitations of seal pups. So okay, this is a really difficult card. Maybe my animal oracle says something more interesting. Okay, guinea pig comes out in reverse like this. Came out in reverse. So now guinea pig is of course always an animal to experiment on. Yes, I read a lot about that too when I was a teenager. But here it says, do your part to illuminate the universe. And I know that, like, technically guinea pigs are edible in many cultures. So I would say this illuminating the universe and this light reflects already says we should actually think very consciously about what nourishes us. Like here, this these hairs are actually also like sensors to the environment. So we should like sense our environment more purposefully, trust our instincts, what the people want from us. And maybe because this came out in reverse, I like thinking now we are reversing the way we handle people, and now we like can build up more self-esteem to stand tall the way we are. Can we get some more information about that? Okay, they are all in reverse. Okay, that's Swords again. Yeah. The Queen of Swords again. This is the sun setting, fire, but she also has like transformation, butterflies. This armor actually reminds me of the film Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, which is an anime that is, sorry to say, this kind of post-apocalyptic, but also like Nausicaa, the main character finds that some of the truths that she was taught by her family and ancestors are actually total misinformation, and tries to teach the people something new. So maybe transformation by knowledge. And this also reminds me of a book that I read at some point where like a teenage girl found out she is actually like a fairy in the sense of quote unquote a very sophisticated plant, and then wings came out of her back, but they were more like flower petals, not like wings to fly with. So there we are again with this theme of being our true identity. Llama. Set clear boundaries and enforce them. I like that. And actually, this reminds me of this. Isn't that called Evan Almighty? Like the film where the animals follow a business guy and then stop the building of a dam that would impact the environment deeply. And then there is this very vocal woman who talks to the llama. Well, if this is what's coming out of your front, I don't want to see what's coming out of your back. So yes, the most humble people and creatures can make a difference. Let's make a difference and let's set boundaries. Yes. What is it with those swords today? The 6 is, of course, an even number. These birds have flown away, so maybe also to be calmer. I think I need to let go of some things in my life and my past. Pentacles is that's an interesting change. Of course, that's also coming out in reverse, but that's like a like very androgynous figure. People who know me also know that I have a lot of like transgender and non-binary friends, and I am their biggest I won't say ally. I won't say I'm just their biggest friend that I can be. I just often don't like that word ally because people interpret that in so many different ways, and I don't want to brag about, hey, I'm an ally. But friendship means to embrace people as they are. And actually, these little ornaments here, I would say they dangle a little bit from a base. And there is a crossroad. And there is this really organically growing tree, and this person who has an armor, also quite similar to Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. And this tree doesn't follow a particular rule. And pentacles are always some sort of richness. And diamonds, okay, some tarot readers who I like, they use these crystals to point at a direction. And here are some round crystals, like to calm down, like when they are in the hand. Ladybird, sitting up on an ammonite. So this is childhood memories. So maybe the ladybird was my favorite animal in childhood, and I went a lot of fossil digging, and it was once a very kind of world sensation for me as a kid when my family and I found a really faint imprint of an ammonite. We didn't even find a really excellent ammonite, but that was a start. And these dandelion seeds flying away are sometimes also a symbol of our loved ones who passed on. And yes, the person who was my main fossil search inspiration passed on a quarter of a century ago, but like Lion King style, he lives in me. And the kingfisher. The kingfisher is a symbol of quality time with friends and family with me, because I once went to an Indian bar with a friend, and there was offered a kingfisher beer. I don't remember if I drank it. I don't remember what it tasted like, but yeah, I like kingfishers. And the next time I would really actually consciously drink that kingfisher beer. And one of my younger relatives also has a plushie that is a kingfisher. Be patient and focused. I like that. That's actually one of my New Year's resolutions, to somewhat learn to become more focused. And I think this is a koi. This is both Zen calmness and the food for the bird. So yes, I can only recommend people, including myself, think more about what nourishes you. What gives you the light around here? And this looks a little bit like the ammonite, the green thing. And yes, what fossils from old time, maybe not literally fossils, of course. I draw a lot of strength from believing that the desmostylians and the stellar sea cows are still somewhere. Those are extinct animals. I like believing that evolution and humans didn't manage to ruin it all. And actually, by creating my own legend around this, I think I'm giving the story a little bit of a new life. So maybe take a moment to think about the stories you tell other people. Who are you? What changes would you like to see in your life? What invisible antennas do you have towards the world? And actually, the ladybug also fits this armor theme, because did you actually know that the red wings are an armor, and the flying happens with a set of thinner wings that are really neatly tucked away with the under the red stuff? And that the ladybugs are among the most persistent animals when they make love. Maybe that's why some people also see them as a symbol of love, and they eat a lot of parasites even while they are. So maybe you have a person in your life who is very persistent in something unusual and positive, and who would basically eat the parasites out of your life. So I wish you a wonderful evening. And now I didn't even do so much flow drawing, but the manatee is also sort of dome shaped, but it has much less armor. Well, the stellar sea cow had a really odd skin that was basically an armor. But that's another story for another day. So I wish you a wonderful evening, and I see you next time. Bye bye.